This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, then let's talk about interview related topics today. Okay, I'll write interview related topics. What are the actual topics which we have to prepare in terms of interview for SAP FICO purpose? Now, if you take your SAP FICO module related content, all the topics or all the submodules which we have within SAP FICO, not everything is important for interview purpose. There are certain topics, there is a limited list of topics from which you will be questioned in any interview that you attend. Those who attended, can you tell me the areas on which you got the questions in your interviews?
Asset accounting, sir.
Integration, sir.
Okay,
Group of account, group of uh, group accounting, sir. Also LSMW. Uh, there were kind of specific questions like if we put LSMW data, asset data into that, what will be the entry, accounting entry? Also integration in FIMM, that if goods is moving from one to internally only, I mean from raw material to semi-finish and internally only, factory to factory, what will be accounting effect? Also,
okay,
also tax related things, like they want to apply tax. Like there were silly questions sometimes, that if vendor is in same vendor is in two state, and if he has different address, do we have to create two accounts, or we can merge, or we can anyhow create only one account and have address two address.
Document splitting, sir.
document splitting. Okay, what else?
Universal general ledger.
IDOC
Okay,
related to
idocs.
Bank bank reconciliation, and I mean MT 940, and also DME file setup, DME tree.
Okay, if you put DME, we should also put APP.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
APP was almost every time it was there, sir. Everyone asked for APP.
yes.
Fiscal year variant and shortened fiscal years.
Okay,
Two-way matchup and three-way matchup POs. This client had asked one question: two-way matchup and three-way matchup PO.
okay. Any other points you have been questioned?
Difference between business area and company code.
Okay. Any other points?
Scenario
Implementation
based
based.
accounting entries, sir.
Scenario based accounting entries.
Accounting entries.
Okay.
ECC and S4HANA changes.
Yes, it was a
Okay.
ask about cutover activities. What exactly happened with cutover activities, and how it will affect when we post, and how do we post. And if LSMW, if anything is data is mismatch, how do we correct it? Is there any specific field?
Okay,
FIMM integration, FISD integration.
that is covered here, integrations.
Accounting entries while data migration.
Okay,
Tables, sir. Tables working on experience.
okay.
Uh, Also, they specifically mention every time are customizations, any customization or enhancement or ISFW object.
Business partner concept.
Numbering is on 19. Okay, here I put 10 again. Okay. Business partner concept. What is the term that you have used? CVI?
Cus-
Okay.
Reports on
Enhancement, sir.
bank details. Mutual functionality concept.
Examples of subledger accounting.
New GL concept. Next, example of
Subledger accounting.
okay.
Path and residual
Customization
documents.
and ISFW objects, sir.
Rise of W objects.
Also,
Next,
there was one question consistent that have you ever written FS document, functional specification document?
functional specifications. Okay.
Gap analysis.
Okay. Next,
Validation and
Banking
substitution.
data experience, sir. Yeah.
what was that? Bank?
Bank experience on banking works.
Bank
Bank data.
reconciliations.
Yeah.
Bank recounts is already written here. Point number 20.
Yes, EBRS.
That is also part of your bank reconciliation. Or
In asset accounting, they
specifically,
specifically ask what kind of unplanned depreciation, restart, and that 4 points.
So interface related
Or
this
if
thing
you
like
put depreciation, can you
working
reverse it?
what is it? Inter?
interface. So they're asking like what are other interfaces you have worked on.
Next.
Ticketing tools. Any
Ranking
experience
order
on
in house bank, sir.
What is that? What is the other thing?
ticketing tools experience? What ticketing tools
No, I didn't
experience?
understand. Important?
Ticketing experience on ticketing tools.
Okay.
G reports.
Okay.
Uh, Park documents and residual document differences. Differences between
Okay.
Reports, they ask, sir. what kind of reports we usually get, how to get profit center, cost center reporting, or specific dimension reporting, or package reporting. I don't know that, but they ask package reporting.
Okay. Next.
Any kind of OSS nodes implementation done?
Okay. Any other points, any other topics where you got questions on your interview?
Down payments with accounting.
Down payments. Anything else? We have written how many? 37.
Payment terms.
Forms?
Payment terms.
Oh, I didn't understand. Can you repeat it again?
Payment terms.
Forms.
Forms. Okay.
Forms. One
Valuation
scenario
modifier,
based
sir.
question, sir.
Auditing?
Valuation modifier.
Valuation modifier. Okay. Should also have.
And they ask, sir, ki whenever we want to put anything like tax into PO or sales into PO or any kind of offsetting accounting into PO, what do we use? As we use OBYC. So, what is the keys and how do we get into PO or anywhere else? Accounting, like accounting keys and transaction keys.
Okay.
Special GL indicators.
Special GL indicators. Okay.
Zero balance indicator.
Zero balance splitting. Okay.
And one scenario based question. Okay, ask. In automatic payment run, five invoices with one company code and five invoices with business area. Is there a possibility or not?
Okay.
What is the meaning
On
of
what level
offsetting account?
What is the meaning of?
Offsetting
offsetting account?
account.
Uh,
Okay.
Also, sir, they ask
Any other?
normally this question that what on what basis we create any kind of things like on company code level, on in client level. So they ask this question like this process on what basis we create a company code level or a client level or a global like level.
Okay.
Also, foreign currency revaluation they ask, sir.
So one more question regarding data migration. Like the question was the end user is using some other software to raise the PO, and at the end of the day, it has to be transferred to SAP. Then how the consultant will do that?
Month ending and year ending activities.
Month end activities, correct. You'll get year end activities. Okay.
Learning, sir.
Dunning. Okay.
If pay the customer pay the payment, how do you know how do you know post the entry? They ask like that one question, sir. Customer pay the payment, how do you know?
Okay.
Return earning accounts, yes, sir, and also open item management,
What is it? Data.
reconciliation account, and open item management.
Okay. Next. Any other points?
Sir, sir, how the reversal mechanism also working in GST? They're also asking.
Reversal.
Reverse charge mechanism related to GST, sir.
RCM.
Okay. Okay.
RCM, sir.
And also, sir, they ask TDS and TCS. And TCS, like a lot of people don't know about TCS.
Page 7, TDS and TCS. Okay.
And sir, other things they ask
Authority to register.
about the procedures. What is your role in implementation? What was your exact role? What you do in BPP exactly? How you run what kind of procedure you follow? So all process regarding questions.
Okay. Any other points?
Sir, is it cover controlling, sir? Questions?
What is it?
Controlling questions, sir. Controlling like is in there
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
they have
Any
asked
question
me.
that you faced, you can ask. You can add.
Is material ledger is mandatory in ANA or not? There they have asked me, sir, this one. Is it
Ledger.
material ledger activation is mandatory or not?
Access
Okay.
sequence, access sequence they ask, sir.
And there, sir, they have also asked me how you prepare the cost sheet, sir.
Costing sheets.
Yes, costing sheet.
Okay.
Credit control area, sir.
Sir, an intercompany scenario, sir. Intercompany, sir. One company sold the goods. Which company needs to raise PO? Which company needs to this?
Okay.
Difference between leading and non-leading.
Leading
So does
ledger.
the HFOs come under FICO?
Delta depreciation. Is that the one you said? Delta.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Some only one or two times they ask, sir, tables.
Tables we've already added somewhere.
The difference
They
between
asked me, do you know
mod
the STO process? Does the STO process come under SAP FICO?
Okay. Somebody was telling some other question.
STO processor, stock transfer.
Okay.
the difference between multi-level method and period control methods are in asset.
Period, control, method, and assets. Okay. Next.
And what is the inheritance in document splitting?
Okay.
There are, sir, one-time difference between business area and profit center, and which should we use?
Okay.
What we need to check in IDOC, sir?
Okay.
Tickets, sir.
Support tickets. Okay. Next.
What incidents we have faced in the project?
Implementation tickets.
Incidents is part of this only. Support tickets. Just the same. Next.
Uh,
Methodologies.
Business process, they asked, sir. What was your business process? Whatever we mentioned in resume. Explain the business process.
And what is the correspondence type and output types, sir?
Okay.
What is Badi and Bapi, sir?
Okay.
Methodologies and system landscape.
System landscape. Okay.
It was all, sir. Almost, I think.
Answer critical tickets which you have not solved in your project.
Okay.
Background
So,
jobs.
ASAP methodology is a part of implementation methodologies. Is that
Implementation methodologies we have written just now.
ASAP
Implementation method.
ASAP methodologies? ASAP.
Yeah. Both will come here only. ASAP and activate. Point number 77.
Okay, thanks.
Background jobs.
Background jobs. Okay. Did we write bank to bank transfers? No.
Host to host. Host to
No,
host
sir, we
configurations.
haven't tried.
Bank to bank transfers.
81, sir.
81. Okay. Next.
Sir, host to host configurations, sir. Is it same?
Which configuration?
Host to host. Have you worked on host to host configuration?
Yeah.
And they have also asked me tell me some tickets related to EBRS. Sir.
Okay.
Working knowledge of debugging any programs.
Extended withholding
Okay.
tax.
Correct. Extended withholding tax.
What is the difference between
Difference between
billing types?
is this
Billing
is
types.
this what you mean? Billing types or building?
Billing types, sir. In VF0 and some billing types is coming. So just
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to.
Okay, okay.
The difference between sir W19 and BD87, sir.
W90 or 19?
19 related to IDOCs and BD87.
Okay.
And have you worked on the report painter? They have also.
That's also correct. Report painter.
Sir, usage of mass transaction code.
Mass transaction.
And how to post a transaction with both GST and TDS.
Okay.
Sir,
10 more,
Kattavati
we will
active.
become 100.
Hello.
Yeah, go. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Kattavati activities phases, sir. They ask what time you cut upload your data in go live system periods.
Okay.
Accrual and deferral entries.
Okay. If you write accrual and deferral, next one more kind of entries.
Before go live, how many mock runs we have done?
What mock runs?
That means the before go live, suppose the data is available from the client. Okay, after uploading, they will do the first times testing and the confirm with the client whether all the values are correct or not. Then after same thing will be repeated on second month also, and after 2 months they will find out the any kind of shortcomings or any errors. After they will go for go live.
Okay. It's not your migration data. Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes. That means before actual go live, the testing go live is done, and in testing go live, we can find out whether there is any kind of gap or mismatch in values or any kind of process is not done properly. So this kind of process like mock run done one or two times, and after that we can go for go live. That is the actual go live.
Okay.
Sir, have you worked on
Sir,
service based?
accounting principle.
Accounting principles. Okay.
And have you worked on service based invoice?
Service-based invoices. Okay.
Correspondences. Why we use them?
Correspondences is already written.
Types of
How
testings.
to upload asset master and asset balancer.
Okay.
Difference between leading ledger and non-leading ledger.
That is already covered.
Types of
Yeah,
testings.
Types of testing. Okay.
So specifically they will mention one account and they'll ask it is asset, liability, like whatever, and why.
What is the difference between customizing and workbench request?
Okay.
sir, what is alternative GL account?
It's a difference between withholding tax and extended withholding tax.
Withholding tax, extended withholding tax. Okay. Nobody got any questions from controlling side or cash side? Any specific scenario based questions?
How to restrict cash journal authorizations only to the respective department or to certain users.
How to restrict cash journal authorizations to a specific department.
Users.
Okay.
Validations and the substitutes.
Difference,
Which
difference
what
between
is it?
assessment,
Please go ahead.
difference between assessment and distribution.
Correct. Assessment cycle, distribution cycle, correct? Cost objects. You may get a question, what is cost object?
Yes, sir.
why
methods
we need to
of
maintain more than one currency?
why we need to use parallel currencies. Okay.
Automatic entry. How we can post automatic entry? How we can make such program automatic entry will possible?
So please include a statistical key figure in 103.
Statistical key figures and
So, in 103, that's written assessment cycle and distribution cycle. This is also come in that category.
yeah. And nobody got this question.
Universal journal. Universal
Standard
journal.
cost estimates. Universal journal, I guess, is already written somewhere. Universal ledger
Yes,
is
sir, it
already
is.
here.
Okay.
Difference between IDOC EDA and
Controlling
ALU.
month-end activities. Difference between
IDOC EDA and ALU.
EDA and AL,
ALU.
AI.
ALE.
ALE IDOC and EDI IDOC.
Yeah. Differences.
Okay.
Can we post backdated payments in APP?
What is it in APP? Modification.
Can we post backdated payments?
Okay.
The importance of next
They
payment
ask
date.
Okay.
SAP transport request.
That is already here. Point number 99. Customizing and workbench request. TRs.
Okay. Thank you.
Experience on Vim and FSC.
Experience on
VIM and FSCM modules.
So for that point, we'll have to write
FSC.
credit management overview, funds management overview, treasury overview. Any other points?
OPA, sir.
Sir,
OPA.
what is sanity testing?
What is
Sanity testing, sir.
quality testing?
Sanity testing, sir.
Is this
Yes, sir.
Sample and recurring document.
okay?
Adjustment entries, sir.
Adjustment entries.
Tolerance.
for invoice verification.
Which invoice verification? Logistics?
Yes, logistic invoice verification. A small difference, moving average price difference.
No, I didn't understand. What is that before invoice verification?
How are your tolerance for invoice verification defined? They ask sometime that type of question.
That is, I think already we have written two-way, three-way invoice verification. Somewhere
Okay.
it is there.
Yeah, two-way matching, three-way matching.
Yeah,
Already we have.
it's here. Yeah, two-way and three-way matching.
13 number.
Okay.
Also, sir, accrual and deferral.
Accrual deferral is already mentioned.
Depreciation key creation.
Which integration?
Depreciation key creation.
Okay, you put this here. You should also write smoothing and catch up in assets, not cut over. Take over value dates in assets. Asset revaluations.
Scrapping entry.
Hmm?
Scrapping entry.
AUC settlement.
Correct. Asset accounting entries, especially asset sale journal entry, asset under construction. Next,
What is difference between depreciation and accumulated depreciation?
depreciation,
So
accumulated
AUC
depreciation.
settlement through internal order.
Yeah, that is here. Point number 131. Any other points?
Sir, internal order and budgeting.
Internal order and
Budgeting.
cost center differences, cost center planning and budgeting, activity planning, GL planning, leading, non-leading ledger, balance comparison,
Extended ledger. Sir.
extension ledgers,
Entry view and general
ledger
ledger view.
specific postings,
Validations and substitutions.
validations. Did we write? No?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
I guess we have written.
Yes, sir. It's written already.
No. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. It's not here. That's somewhere. We have not written, I guess.
Validation and substitution. You have.
Yeah, we have written. Already written.
Batch input section, sir.
What is that? Batch input session. Next.
Document date and posting date.
Okay.
Sir, why we use BDC apart from LSMW in ECC?
Why we use BDC, LSMW, LTMC. Okay.
The difference between field status variant and group.
Field status variant and group difference. Okay.
Payment
And
terms.
payment terms,
Customer and payment terms.
installment payment terms. Okay. Next.
Sir, in MT 940 or DME, how do we know exactly what customer to debit? Is there any code, or how do we recognize that?
Okay. Think enough. We've written 150 points which you all faced in the interviews. Now, if you prepare all these points, is this enough to clear your interview? If you know at least
No,
about
sir.
these points?
Sure, sir.
No.
Can manage,
Yes,
sir.
no?
No, sir.
If you know about these 150 points, can you manage your interview or can you face your interview confidently?
No, sir.
Yes.
We should know the whole process.
No, sir. We
Now,
can't judge,
only
sir.
I
the
can.
What is the requirement?
only the interview I'm talking. If you want to go and attend an interview, face an interview, if you are aware of these points that are listed on the Excel sheet, is this sufficient to give you confidence?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Confidence.
If
No,
you know
sir. It is
everything
not
and answer
kind confidence.
correctly, how to explain, we can go for confidence. I think almost all questions is covered in here. If you know each point and if you will explain properly, you can
Hmm,
you can go with confidence.
correct. See, first thing what we have to know about each and every topic that is listed on this Excel sheet, you have to know at least basic one or two lines. When I say basic one or two lines, if I talk about asset accounting, If I talk about asset accounting, you must know what is asset accounting. Now, when somebody is specifically asking you to explain or do you have any experience on asset accounting, you should have some clear-cut understanding of SAP asset accounting. There are two types of asset accounting in SAP. One is your asset accounting in ECC and the other one in the asset accounting of S4HANA. How asset accounting works in ECC, how asset accounting works in S4HANA. What are the changes between ECC to HANA with respect to assets? So these basic points should be there in your mind. At least you can speak something. Similarly, if you go to integrations, you must know basic integration point. Everybody will ask you about FIMM integration, FISD integration, basic data flow and accounting entries of MM integration, SD integration, how these accounting entries are coming and who will do what. If you are talking about MM integration, if you are starting from purchase order, if you say that we will have purchase order first and then goods receipt and then invoice receipt, payment, bank reconciliation, you may get a question, who will create purchase order? So you must know who creates a purchase order. So purchase order is created by finance team or logistics team.
Logistic or procurement team.
Purchase order is created by logistics team or procurement team, correct. Now, when you do GRN, goods receipt note, who is creating this goods receipt note? Procurement team or finance team?
Procurement, sir.
Procurement team will create the GRN. Now, do you get any accounting entry at GRN?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the accounting entry at GRN?
Inventory of raw material of
Inventory
business.
account data to GRIR account.
If you get a question, what is the accounting entry for GRN? What will you answer?
Accounting entry will
Inventory,
be raw
raw
material to
material.
GRI.
Okay. Inventory account debit, GRIR credit. But what is the question? Accounting entry for GRN. Accounting entry for GRN. We are talking. What is the entry? Inventory debit, GRIR credit. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You tell this is not correct. Do you create purchase order only for inventory?
No, sir. We also create for asset.
PO is created for inventory, PO is created for assets, PO is also created for expenses.
Also for services.
Yes. And
Now, when I say GRN, for inventory, do I need to post GRN?
no.
When we say
Yes.
GRN, what is the transaction code we are referring? Where do you post GRN?
WRS.
No, no. Where do you post GRN? In which transaction do we post GRN?
Miguel,
Ego, sir.
Migo.
Migo, sir.
Migo is where you post GRN. Do you execute Migo transaction for inventory purchase order? Yes, no.
Yes,
no,
sir.
sir. We can't.
Yes or no? Can we
We can't.
post?
No option is there. Directly we have post, but
No.
no other option. Simple option is not there.
If your purchase order is created for inventory, you will have to post MIGO. Yes, agree?
Yes, sir.
Now, if your purchase order is created for asset, should we create MIGO? If your purchase order is created for asset,
Yes, sir.
if your purchase order is created for expenses or services,
No, sir.
should we create MIGO?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
No,
And
sir,
then
we
where
will
do you
not
post
create Migo.
invoice?
We have to do service entry and we can do Miro.
Okay. Where do you create invoice?
ML,
In Miro, sir.
Miro.
ML81 and T4 for service entry.
Right. Okay, this we will write down. For inventory, do we create Miro?
Yes, sir.
For assets,
Yes, sir.
for expense or services?
Yes.
Yes. Now here also you will get yes. Okay. So while creating your purchase order, if you are creating the purchase order with respect to a service, then you will have to create a service entry sheet. When your service entry sheet is created, GRN is automatically posted.
Yes, it
Am I
automatically it
correct?
will reflect.
If your service entry sheet is
Yes, sir.
created or if your service entry sheet is approved in workflow, your GRN is automatically posted. GRN is nothing but Miro. In short, when we are talking about Miro, when we are talking about GRN, you are posting GRN for 3 different type of purchase orders. Now, if you are talking
And
about integration, if you're talking about integration, do not specifically mention accounting entry only for inventory. If you tell only for this, you may get a cross question, what about assets, what about expenses or service entry sheet? Because you are telling in general that FIMM integration is only valid for inventory. That is what you are telling me. I am not asking you inventory accounting entry. Am I correct? I'm asking you what is your FIMM integration accounting entry. If your FIMM is being integrated for an inventory related or stock material related purchase order, what will be the accounting entry? For inventory, what is the accounting entry?
stock material.
Immediate finished goods to
Inventory
GRI.
debit,
Clearing.
JRI credit.
GRIR credit. In case of asset,
Asset debit.
Asset debit, vendor credit.
GRIR credit.
asset debit, GRIR credit. Okay. In case of expense or service,
Expense debit, GRIR credit.
Expenses
expense
debit,
debit,
GRIR credit.
GRIR credit.
Yes.
Now, is the accounting entry same in case of inventory, in case of asset, in case of service, or it is different?
It is same only.
Accounting entry, is it same? Are you debiting same account for these three scenarios? Inventory,
No,
asset, expense?
No, no, no.
No,
It
right?
isn't separate transaction. GRI it will be same. Credit only.
Right. For debit, if your purchase order is created for inventory, you are debiting inventory account. If your purchase order is created for asset, you are debiting asset account. If your purchase order is created for expense, you are debiting expense account. Now, how your
Yes.
GRN receives debit posting?
While doing,
How?
if you'll do Myra, that time it will be GRA, GRA it will come to debit.
From where this debit GL account is coming? Your inventory account is coming from where? Your asset account is coming from where? Your expense account is coming from where?
OBYC.
Expenses, it is coming from Igor, like a PO, right?
So inventory GL is determined from OBYC. From where in OBYC?
BSX.
Which
BSX.
account key?
So
BSX.
transaction, yes.
Correct. Asset account
Sir, we have
is
to assign GL, BSX.
correct. So that we have written inventory GL is determined from OBYC BSX. From where your asset accounting is determined from?
Okay.
Movement type, sir.
No.
No, 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 no.
From PO?
And from, yes, sir, PO, from PO.
Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Account assignment category.
Yes, sir.
Your expense from where same? PO account assignment. Are these three statements correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no? Now, if you get questions on your
Yes, sir.
FIMM integration, this is how you will be questioned. If somebody wants to ask you questions, they might directly ask, what is the accounting entry for purchase order created against a cost center? So you may get a question, if PO is created against a cost center, what is the accounting entry? Or if PO account assignment category is K, what is the accounting entry? Are these two questions the same or different?
Just like that, sir.
Same.
Different.
Are these two questions the same or these are different? These two are same questions. But can we immediately understand and relate this question and then give an answer on the spot?
No, sir.
Unless we
We
are
will be
confident.
blank.
So this is how you will get questions in your interviews. We feel that we are reading FIMM integration or any point for that matter, but the way you are reading is straightforward. But the way you get questions is not straightforward. This does not mean that you are not aware of the accounting entry. You are aware of the accounting entry, but the way I am asking questions, the way I am talking to you, you are unable to connect with me. There is some gap. This gap is your SAP terminology gap. This gap is called your real-time practical knowledge gap. That if you work on any project or if you have seen SAP work environment practically, you will easily understand. Now you have seen these two questions. Tomorrow if somebody is asking you any accounting entry for FIMM integration, do not never ever tell to anybody inventory account debit, GRIR account credit. Did they ask you the accounting entry of MM integration for inventory alone, stock alone? Did they specify stock entry? No, right? Nobody will specifically ask us to give the accounting entry for stock, but it is our responsibility to mention these three. You will create purchase order for three type of procurements. If your PO is created for inventory, this is what your accounting entry. If your PO is created for asset, this is your accounting entry. If PO is created for service, this is the accounting entry. While telling the accounting entry itself, mention from where these GLs are determined. And when you tell this, check if anybody is asking you any cross question. They will stop the point of your integration, they'll go to the next topic. Nobody will go to another question if you explain in this way. But if you tell only the base FIMM integration scenario along with this accounting entry alone, you will get cross questions. The way you answer will determine whether you receive cross question or you will get next question. Okay. Now you have group chart of accounts. Do we actually use group chart of account in current SAP? First of all, what is group chart of account used for?
Reporting purpose, sir.
Which reporting purpose? Reporting purpose is correct, but there is a specific reporting name for group chart of account. What is that reporting called?
Consolidated basis.
Consolidation or group reporting? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You'll use it for consolidation purpose or you will use it for group reporting purpose. But do we actually use group chart of account? We do not practically use group chart of account. We do not use group chart of account. And for consolidation purpose or for group reporting purpose, which tool do we use? How do we generate group reports or consolidation reports from SAP? Now this is again very important for us to understand. Let's say if you take any client, let's say I take Reliance. Everybody knows Reliance company, Reliance group. Yes,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Does Reliance have only one company under them or they have multiple companies under them?
Multiple companies under there.
Can you list out some companies under Reliance Group?
Reliance Power, Reliance Infra,
Let's say I'll put
Reliance Petrol,
Reliance Digital,
Geo,
Reliance
Digital,
Petrol,
Reliance Trends,
Reliance Telecommunications,
Reliance Trends.
Reliance Mart.
Okay, so let's say you have this many. Assuming Reliance is in SAP, if Reliance is in SAP, all the associate companies of Reliance will also be in SAP.
yes, sir.
Let's say all these companies are using SAP. When I say all these companies are using SAP, Reliance Digital, let's say RE10 is this company code, RE20 is this company code. There are 5 company codes. Clear? Now
Yes,
I
sir.
want to know I want to know financial result, let's say, of March 2023. What reports I should refer? TB, P&L, balance sheet. Is this correct? If I want to understand financial result of Reliance for March 2023, should I refer trial balance, P&L, balance sheet? Am I correct?
Correct, sir.
Now, if I refer trial balance of RE10, which is Reliance Digital, I will come to know the profit loss or asset liability position only for Reliance Digital. If you have 5 different company codes, do we have to generate 5 trial balances? Do we have to generate 5 P&L statements? Do we have to generate 5 balance sheets? Am I correct? At each company code level?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Because your transaction is posted at company code level, your configuration is made at company code level, your reports are made at company code level. Yes, no, anything that you open in SAP, for every financial transaction you have to specify company code.
Yes, sir.
Now, but let's say if you're the owner of Reliance, or if the owner of Reliance wants to look at the overall performance of Reliance, do they talk about Reliance profit, or do they talk about geo profit, petrol profit, digital profit, trends profit likewise? According to them, it's all their business. They want to know what is my overall profit for the month of March 2023, for which they need consolidated report.
Yes.
For which they need consolidated report. How these consolidated reports are generated in SAP? Now, any client, any company that you work for SAP, everybody will have minimum 2 company codes. How many company codes?
2 company reports.
Minimum 2 company codes will be there for majority of the clients that you work for. It's very, very rare that one client will have only one company code. Very rare chances. Mostly minimum 2 company codes under one group. So group reporting or consolidation reporting is mandatory. Now for that, they will not use your SAP. For that, they will use something called BPC or BI BO reporting. Which one? BPC reporting or BIBO reporting. If you do not talk about BIBO, it is fine. But BPC is used for group consolidation reporting. If you get a question called group reporting, you have to skip that question. You have to tell group reporting is used for, sorry, group chart of account is used for group reporting or consolidation purpose. But currently, we do not use group chart of account for this purpose. For this, we have SAP standalone tools called BPC and BIBO. Majorly, most of the clients will go for BPC reporting. And now you also have something called SAC, SAP Analytics Cloud.
Please, Anil, mute yourself. Thank
Now, if you are using group chart of account, the intention of your explanation should correspond to group reporting, consolidation, BPC and all. You should also tell currently we do not use group reporting based on group chart of account. Then why do we use group chart of account? What is the purpose of creating group chart of account?
Consolidation purpose we can use.
Do we use consolidation in SAP?
I think no.
We don't use consolidation in SAP. For consolidation, we will be using BPC reporting. Okay.
Sir, what is
When you're
country
using,
specific database?
okay, that I'll write here. Okay, if you're using group chart of account, what becomes mandatory? Where is this group chart of account assigned?
Trading
In
partner,
jail
sir.
To
master, sir.
company code.
For operating chart of accounts.
Chart of accounts again, sir.
Group chart of account is assigned where?
While creating the operating chart of account, there we have to assign.
Yes.
So it is assigned in
Day-to-day business terms.
operating chart of account. Now your country specific is assigned where?
Company code, sir.
OB 62.
Yes, OB
Correct. It
62
is assigned in
against company code. OB 62
company
T
code.
code, sir.
Correct. And your operating chart of account is assigned where?
Company code.
That also in OB 62
Is
company
assigned
code.
in company code.
Right. So total how many chart of accounts?
3 chat.
You have 3 chart of accounts. How many can we assign to company code? Out of 3, how many can we
Two.
assign to the company code?
Two, two, two.
2, sir.
2. If you have 3 chart of accounts, if you are able to assign only 2 chart of accounts to your company code, how can we use 3 chart of accounts? Where is third chart of account assigned to your company code? How your system knows that I am using 3 chart of accounts?
Through operating chart account, sir.
Right. When you're assigning operating chart of account, if your operating chart of account is assigned with group chart of account, if your operating chart of account is assigned with group chart of account, your operating chart of account is representing 2 chart of accounts, operating plus group. Correct? And then your country specific chart of account. When you are using a group chart of account, one more account number will become mandatory. What is that account number called? If you use group chart of account, you will have to create one more GL account.
Country specific chart of account.
No, if you are using group chart of account, another GL account is
Group.
to be created.
Trading partner account.
No, group account number. Those who are not talking can go on mute if you are not talking. Sorry, where did I go? So when you create GL account in FS00, you have how many tabs? How many tabs do we use while creating a GL account using FS00? 1, 2, 3
3, sir.
or 4, 5?
3, 3.
So you will
3
be
we can
using
use.
1, 2, 3. First tab is what?
Type description.
Type description. Second one,
Control data.
third one,
Keyword transaction.
Create bank interest.
Yeah.
Now,
The
where
create
do
bank.
you maintain operating chart of account GL number? Or where do you maintain your account number, GL number? In which tab?
Control data.
Your main GL account number. If I want to create a GL account number, in which tab I should give my account number?
Account number, group account number in type description only is there, I think.
Correct? You have to give in type description only.
Yeah, in down is there.
Let's say I'll put account number here. Let's say 12345 6 is my account number. Here, when you give account number, you will have account name, you will have account type, you will have account group. What else will be there? There is one more number called group account number. Anybody saw this? Something group account number.
No, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This will come. This will come based on one condition. Otherwise, you cannot see this. On
Yes,
what
sir. We
condition
have
you
to
will see this field?
while creating like a
If
chart of
you have
account.
assigned a group chart of
So
account, then this field will appear.
you have
Correct. If group COA is assigned to your operating COA, you will get group account number field enabled. If you do not assign group chart of account inside your operating chart of account, you will not see this field. Am I correct?
yes, sir.
Now, if you are using country chart of account, what is another account number which is mandatory?
Alternative account number.
In control data tab.
Alternative account number.
Alternative account number will become mandatory if you are using country chart of account. Now, is this any logic based or directly it will come? Now, this group account number is logic based. If your group chart of account is assigned to your operating chart of account, group account number is visible. If not, you will not find group account number field. In the similar way, for alternative account number, any logic is there? Can I see this field only if I use my my country specific chart of account to my company code? Or even if I do not assign country chart of account to my company code, I will be able to see this still. Now, if you get a question, if I am not using country specific chart of account to my company code, if I am not using country specific chart of account to my company code, do I still need to use alternative account number, or do I get alternative account number visible?
No need.
So it will be visible.
If
It
it's
will
not
be
all
visible.
visible, yes.
Now, why we use alternative account number? Why we use this group account number? From where can we assign any number in group account? Can we assign any number in alternative account?
If any country specific chart of account will create, that time we have to assign.
Okay. Simply I'll put one statement here. My company code uses all three chart of accounts. Clear? Now I
Yes, sir.
want to create rent GL account in operating COA. What are the steps to be followed? What steps do we need to follow? First, what I need to do?
First, we have to create account group. Then in FS00, we will go, and also the number range we have to assign.
Now,
Uh,
assuming your configuration is all there, you have created operating, you have created group, you have created assigned, respective assignments are already done. Now we have to
we'll
do
go to
master data creation only.
okay. We will go to FS00. We will create central account. In that, we will select account group and account type, that is balance sheet and expense or income, profit and loss. Then we will
Okay.
we will do naming conventions. We will
Hmm.
provide
Okay.
sorry, field status, and there are some items there like line item or
Basically,
only in currency. So
Now,
we will
whatever you're telling is correct, but which account are you creating? First, which
rent
account
account.
are you creating?
Operating chart
You
of
have
account.
three
Oh,
type of
okay.
chart of accounts.
First,
Uh,
we will create operative chart of accounting. Operating chart of accounting.
1 minute. Let me put three names here. Operating GL, group GL, alternate GL. Which GL will you create first?
Operating GL.
First, sir, we'll
Okay.
create group GL. So after that, we will create
First,
operating GL.
first group GL. Okay. Second, first group GL. Correct. Second,
Alternate
Op-
third,
operating GL.
operating. Why this sequence? Because when you create
Because in
operating
operating
GL account, inside the operating you have to assign group GL account number. Inside the operating GL you have to assign alternative account number. Am I correct?
yes, sir.
yes.
Right? So straight away you cannot create operating GL account. First you have to create group account number. Then you should have alternative account number. Only when you have group and alternative you can create your operating GL account. Now, if you get these kind of a questions from your chart of account, we will simply ignore chart of account. This is very straightforward. OB13, OBD4, OB62, OB53. Only 4 T codes, straightforward. But if somebody wants to put questions on your chart of account, they will go at this level. But when somebody is asking a questions at this level like this, we should have that confidence, we should have that knowledge to answer at least in a convincing way. You may not be correct, but make sure your answers are sufficient enough to convince the other person. I cannot say any sequence that I want, right? If I tell this answer wrong, will the other person get positive opinion on my SAP knowledge or negative opinion?
Obviously positive, sir.
If I do not tell correct,
Okay,
if
sorry.
my answer is
Then
wrong,
again,
definitely they'll
Negative.
get the negative because
yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm not even able to tell how GL accounts is to be created, which account is to be created first. These are called as basics. I'm not strong, I'm not confident enough on the basic how master records are created, on what sequence, on what logic. Now for this, do we actually need to go to SAP and then practice this, or now you understood what is to be done?
We
Sir,
understood, sir.
understood in explain.
That in case if somebody is asking you why we use group chart of account, now you can answer. You have to bring the point called BPC there. Now if I have to create a group chart of account, what I should do? You don't need to log into SAP, create a group chart of account, not required, because your initial intention is to talk something which is accepted in your interview, valid information which is accepted in your interview by any interviewer. For that, we actually do not have to practice. The practice is only to give you more confidence. But if you just want to become confident to talk in the interview, you don't need to log into SAP. Without opening SAP, you can prepare to clear your interview. But it depends the way you are approaching, how you are preparing, on what basis, what points you are reading, how you are looking at a topic. Right? Let's say I want to use country specific chart of account. I want to use country specific chart of account. Alternative GL account is relevant for me, correct?
Yes, sir.
If country specific chart of account is in use, alternative GL account number is applicable. Let's say I am not using country specific chart of account, I am only using operating chart of account. But while creating any GL account number, I am still finding alternative account field. Now I don't want that field. Your client says, I do not want to see this alternative account number because my users are inputting something here. If you are not using alternative account number while creating a GL account, if you type a number in alternative account number field, what will happen? Will system accept that number or it will throw an error?
Will throw in error.
It is throwing an error. Let's say my users are knowingly or unknowingly they are giving some number or same account number in alternative GL number. Now to avoid this, I want to disable this field, or I don't want this alternative account number to be visible. Can we do that?
Yes, sir. In OBD4, you can do that. You can suppress that field.
Alright. So any GL account master data field that you see on FS00, you have three tabs: type description, control, create a bank interest. In these three tabs, you will find different fields: account currency, reconciliation, sort key, field status, group. Yes, no. All these fields can be controlled. All these fields can be controlled from which screen? Where do you control this? At what level? At what level?
F1.
Field status groups.
At what level can I control a particular field
Account
status of a
account group
GL
level.
master? This is controlled at account group level. Which account group level? At which account group level? What is that account group called? GL account groups?
Yes,
What is that account group called? GL account group. Where are you creating this GL account groups?
FS
FS00, when you create a GL account group, top you will find something called field status. When you open SAP next time, when you go to OBD4 screen, when you select
Yes,
any account group,
it is
top you
there.
will find field status. If you click on field status, same way that you get in OBC4, you will get field list. From that list, you have to select whatever the field you want as optional, suppressed, or mandatory.
Mandate.
Right? So you might get questions at this level if somebody is asking you scenario based questions. So on your list, if you have group chart of account, try to understand group chart of account at this level. It is not relevant that somebody will ask you questions like this or not, but at least if you know these points, all these points will help you at any given point of time. Maybe when you're talking to somebody, when you're explaining to somebody, if you get a requirement, if you get a problem, these points will help you out managing the situation. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right, now the points that we have discussed, if you tell the same points to anybody, majority of the people that you interact with may not be aware of it. They feel that you are telling them something new, but this is not something new. This is the standard thing one must know if you are talking about group chart of account. In the similar way, theoretically, you don't have to log into SAP, nothing is needed. What is what, if you are able to understand, that is more than enough to clear your interview, because it is just a 30-minute discussion and it's all theoretical interaction, conversation. Right? So, slowly we will talk about all these points without opening SAP. Okay, I'll write down different points related to each of this topic the way we have written here without opening SAP, so that you will come to know different points directly in your mind. And let anybody ask any question related to this, you will have at least some valid information to speak about. Now, those who have attended interview are able to give how many points? Around 150 points here. 151 points we have written. You will get only 30 to 40% of this from your interview, because to talk about all these points, is 30 minutes enough? Your interview point of view. If I ask some 15-20 questions, your 30 minutes is over. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We cannot discuss more than 15-20 topics in your 30-minute time. So if you prepare these, if you are aware of these points at high level, enough, you can clear your interview. You can confidently go and attend your interviews. But what is that we have to know about each topic is very important. The content that you are knowing, the content that you are preparing matters a lot. Because of that reason only we are getting rejected, right?
ఎందుకంటే 150
Okay, any other doubts on this? I'm going to explain each and every point listed here theoretically first, and then we'll get into SAP. We'll see in detailed along with the proper business scenarios with financial figures. Any questions before we close?
No, sir.
All right.